After the game, it's the aftermath. Win or lose, we still wave our commander's flag. Riding with Wentz under center, making the pass. Jahan Dotson, young rookie, making a splash. The burgundy and gold, that's what we about. Jonathan Allen knocking QBs to the ground. We die hard and nobody can shut us down. Cause this is the greatest show in town. Let's go! Go, 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 go.
It's second and goal. End zone shot for the lead. It's McLaurin. He's got it. Washington is in front. He was silent for 3 quarters, and Scary Terry.
All right, folks, welcome to another Live Wire Washington Commanders Victory Monday. And yes, it is Victory Monday for the Washington Commanders because the fact of the matter is that the Washington Commanders have officially punched a ticket into the playoffs with a 12-5 record. Yes, 12-5, my friends. It's been a long time since the Washington Commanders was in the playoffs, since they have a record of 11-5 at the time in 91. Now it's 12-5 since 91. That's the year they went to the Super Bowl. Plus, they locked up the 6th seed by winning. Now, this game against Dallas was pretty iffy a little bit, I could say the least, because the fact of the matter is that the Washington Commanders came out very flat in the first half. Dallas was doing everything they can defensively to take Jaden Daniels out the game. They did not want Jaden Daniels to get off. He did get sacked 4 times. We had a backup center in. Hopefully, we can get all our pieces back before we play Tampa next week, which Chicago took care of business. And now that we don't have to play Philly the first game and in that matchup, and we play in Tampa, a game that we lost to them the first game of the season. But nevertheless, Tampa is having issues as well with their injury prone. So we should be getting pieces back. But hopefully in this matchup over the weekend that the Washington Commanders will be able to have Marshawn Lattimore. They'll have both of their running backs. Hopefully we'll have a little bit more pieces to the puzzle, especially when it comes to the offensive line, because I know Todd Bowles is going to dial up some blitzes. He's not going to allow Jaden Daniels to beat them with their legs. So everybody's going to have to step up for this first playoff win, because we have not had a playoff win in some time. But nevertheless, the Washington Commanders locked up the 12. Yes, what a difference a season makes. Playoff bound, 12-5. I pretty much called it through the season. I didn't expect it, but I called it. I took a chance on it. I said it. Hey, lucky for me. But nevertheless, now, like I said, the game started off very slow. We couldn't get Terry involved at all. Dallas, they was trying to win the game. You know, they started Trey Lance. Trey Lance was doing some things. We definitely needed to be a little bit more efficient. We started off slow. We couldn't really get our feet going. We couldn't do this. We couldn't do that. And it just looked like that the Commanders was just stuck in the mud, so to speak. Then long haul becomes the second half of the season. I mean, not the second half of the game. Because if you look at the final stats, Jaden Daniels, he was 6 for 12 for 38 yards. He only had 27 yards rushing. But the offensive line to me because when Michael Parsons got off, he got 2 sacks back to back. And later on, you started seeing Washington started mass protecting. And that's what I thought they was going to do right initially, to start mass protecting, because the fact of the matter is we have seen this against the Philadelphia game and the Atlanta game. They start blitzing more, send more people than the Washington Commanders could take. And it's not going to be any different when they play Tampa Bay, because they're going to have to be able to hold up at some point where Jaden gonna be able to get out the pocket, use his legs, use the running backs or whatever. Um, but then in the second half, Jaden set for the second half, and then Marcus Mariota came in and he made some plays. He made some plays. He he definitely he definitely got the guys rolling, got the guys back in the game, did everything he needed to do to make sure that the Washington Commanders was able to um, find their way back in the game. Now, if you look at in the first quarter, Dallas kicked a field goal. Dallas kicked a back-to-back field goal. Then Washington kicked the field goal in the first quarter, which it was 6-3. It was 6-3 through the second quarter into halftime. Then Dallas came out, kicked another field goal, so that made it 9-3. Then Washington finally got on the board with Mariota pushing them down the field to a 5-yard pass to Zach Ertz. Then Washington took the lead from that point 10-9. Then the Dallas Cowboys came back down the field in the fourth quarter with a 22-yard field goal that made it 13-10. Then Washington came back down again, scored, and made it, I think it was, 16 at the time because they went for a 2-point conversion and missed it. And so it was 16-13 at the time. And then Rico Dowdle scored for Dallas, made it 19-16. And then with less than 3 seconds left in the game, Marcus Mariota got him downfield. On that drive, they was throwing to Terry McLaurin. And Terry McLaurin scored the game winner, as you see at the beginning of the video, with a 5-yard pass from Marcus Mariota. Now, Marcus Mariota came in the game. He's, like I say, he spelled Jaden Daniels, who didn't play well. Dallas had 6 sacks total. Marcus Mariota was sacked 2 times, and then Jaden Daniels was sacked 4 times. Marcus Mariota, we didn't sack Trey Lance number 2 times. We should have got to him more than that. We could have had about 4. Marcus Mariota led the team in rushing with 56. Jaden Daniels led the team. He was second with 27. Arthur Eckler had 12. Brian Robinson had 10. De'Ami Brown had 8. We only rushed as a team for 113 yards to that point. Now, Dallas ran for a $150 total, $150. Rico Dowdle had 72. Deuce Vaughn had 37. Trey Lance had 26. Hunter had 15. That's a problem right there for the Washington Commanders. You cannot go into the, in which they had a problem running with the running game all season long. As great as our interior linebackers is and our defensive front, I just don't think the Washington Commanders have figured out how to stop the run. Now, we do got Jonathan Allen back, but he can't. It's like he can't get off a block. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how they're going to scheme against, because the running back for Tampa Bay, he's going to run. And we're going to have to shut them down to make them pass the ball more. Now, I do say this, in the matchup Sunday, now we get Marshawn Lattimore back against Mike Evans. That's going to force Baker Mayfield to throw other side of the field. And that's where Stansfield and everybody else going to have to step up and take these guys out of the game. And if Washington could slow the running game down a little bit and make the game muddy and weigh them down a little bit, I think Washington could win a close game in Tampa. It won't be as where it was the first time, because now Jaden Daniels has involved a little bit. So it helps. It makes it a little bit easy at that point. So, but nevertheless, the team stats for this game, Dallas had 23 first downs. We only had 18. We had 11 passing, 12 for Dallas. Rushing touchdowns, we had 6. They had 9. We had 1 penalty on first down. They had 2. Now, third at efficiency was 16. It was 6 for 13 in that game. They was 7 for 17. Fourth down, we was 1-1. Now, there's something when we had kicked that field goal when it was 4th and 3, I was expecting us to go for it on 4th down to get the 3 yards. I think we could have got that first down and then maybe score a touchdown. And then I think it would have pushed the game a little bit out of reach for Dallas because Dallas really didn't do nothing. They were just trying because they didn't have CeeDee Lamb in the game. They didn't have other people in the game. So Michael Parsons played, and all of that stuff. But still, at the same point, Washington, Washington played their guys. They played Terry, all of them, because there was, bonus incentives and records need to be handled. Total plays, Dallas had 75 total plays to our 55. So total yards, they gained us by 378 to 269. Total drives, they had 11. We had 10. We was even at yards per play, 5.0 to 4.9. Passing yards, they had 228. We had 156. So, and I already gave you the rushing stats like that. Now in the red zone, we was 3 for 3 in the red zone. There was 1 for 6 in the red zone. So that's good. We execute when we get in the red zone. And we didn't left nothing to chance. Time of possession, Dallas had the ball more than us, 37 minutes and 3 seconds. We had 22, 56, 57. And the thing about it is at that, because they didn't want Jaden Daniels to get off. And I think if Jaden Daniels really had got off, we kind of probably would have blown them out. But nonetheless, we still got the win. We was able to find a way to win. And that's what it's going to take going into the playoff. You're going to have to find games to win. Find a way to win games. But we cannot continuously start off slow. We have a bad habit of starting off slow too. It's ridiculous. And we find that it seems like we become a second half team. But if the deficit gets too big in the first half, it don't matter if you're a second half team or not, because you're going to have to make up so many ground. And then the other team is going to try to kill the clock to keep you from getting back into the game. So we got to really start coming out the gate fresh and fast and, and not allow teams to jump all over us or start moving up down the field, because Baker Mayfield is going to try to look for Mark Evans. And that's why I said if we didn't have Marshall Lattimore, I think we would be in a little bit of trouble. But with Marshall Lattimore in there to neutralize Mike Evans a little bit, then it opens up a lot of different things that we can do. We could probably blitz a little bit more, stop the run, and probably get to Baker Mayfield. Hopefully we can turn the ball over on Baker Mayfield. That's what I'm hoping too. Now, with all of that said and done, let's examine, the Washington Commanders real quick. Let's examine them real quick. Let's examine what it looks like. Like I said, Marcus Mariota, he played a hell of a second half. He played a hell of a second half. Definitely, coming in for Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels, he got a little shaken up a little bit in the first half, but he was okay. And then I think that's where they made a decision to go with Mariota in the second half and not let Jaden Daniels stay out there and continuously, get sacked all over the place and stuff like that. So, but at the end of the day, I think the Washington Commanders have what it takes to win a first playoff game, and it would be good. Like I said, this team is 12-5, 12-5, one of the best seasons in a long 30-year history of the Washington Commanders. They had not been in the playoffs since 2020, and they have not had a great record. Now, back then, they won the division by default by having a 97 record. That's the COVID season. And guess who they played in the playoffs the first time? Tampa Bay, in a game that they almost upset Tampa Bay with Tom Brady there. But Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Bucks went on to win the Super Bowl that year. So, but this team is totally different. They totally different. Now, can we pay the favor back to them? Sure, I think we could, because guess what? We had home field advantage. Tampa was the Tampa was the wild card. You know what I'm saying? They came into our house and beat us. So can we give them back the favor by us coming to them and beating them on their home turf? Hey, so I think it can be done. I think it will be done. Um, but I want to show you a little stat for Terry McLaurin. And speaking of Terry McLaurin caught the game winning touchdown. The game winning touchdown. And I want to show this picture because it is remarkable. I mean, it is so remarkable. This picture is so remarkable right here. I mean, this might be my wallpaper right here. That right there. That was the game winner catch right there. So I feel like everybody should have this picture right now. I think this picture should go in a frame. I think it should go in a poster or whatever the case might be. And just to understand what Terry McLaurin has done. Now I want to go over some of his stat line too, just to make sure we cover everything. So Terry McLaurin, he became Terry McLaurin caught 8 catches for 62 yards and 1 touchdown in the game. He's also set the franchise single season receiving touchdown record with 13 receiving touchdowns this season. Plus, Terry McLaurin also recorded his 75th reception of the season. He became the only player in franchise history to have 75 plus receptions and 1,000 yards receiving and a plus 10 plus touchdown reception in a single season. He also is the one of 4 wide receivers to join Brandon Marshall, Torrey Holt, and Randy Moss to record at least 75 receptions, 1,000 yards receiving in 5 of their first 6 seasons in the league. Per Ellis Sports, Terry McLaurin joins Travis Kelce as the only active players to record 75 plus receptions and 1,000 yards receiving in 5 consecutive seasons. Now, if you don't think Terry McLaurin is a number one now, you're crazy. You're crazy because he's up there with him and Travis Kelce are the only ones to record 75 receptions and 1,000 yards in within the in their first 5 seasons in the league. No other receiver has done that yet. So when we talk about Terry McLaurin as a number one, yeah, he is a number one, a true number one. And he's up there with some of the best now. And just think about this. Terry McLaurin, he'll probably be with us for another, I said 3 to 4 years. He'll be able to set the franchise record for this franchise as one of the best receivers in the game that play with us. Hopefully we get him a Super Bowl in that we could send him off the can. That would be tremendous. You know, he's already on his 2nd Pro Bowl, you know. So therefore, and having a quarterback like Jada Daniels, all things are possible for this young wide receiver duo. And like I said, they're the first quarterback wide receiver duo to even be in the Pro Bowl since '91, since Mark Rippon and what's the name did it. So my thing about this is, man, tip your hat off to the Washington Commanders. With a tough schedule, up and down season a little bit, injuries here and there, they will still manage to beat some of the teams, sweeping the Giants, beating Philly, beating Dallas the last game of the season, beating Atlanta to win, beating the Saints. You know, could have beat Pittsburgh, you know, but hey, is what it is. Playing on Monday Night Football, winning a crucial game against Cincinnati, turn around, winning a Sunday night game against Atlanta Falcons. Now you got another Sunday night game on the big stage, a playoff game, and Jalen Daniels could be 3-1 in primetime games this year. That is something special to put your hat on because this team has arrived. Are we fully put together? No. Do we still have some issues? Yes. But guess what? This team plays together. They believe in each other, and they will get it done. I'm looking for a close game. Could be an overtime game, but I'm looking for the close game because guess what? If we got 2 minutes left in the game and the ball is in Jaden Daniels' hands, we win in that game. We win in that game. So that's my Victory Monday wrap up. I will probably come back later in the week and do a matchup, between the history of Marshawn Lattimore and Mike Evans and what to look forward to for the Commanders going into this first playoff atmosphere in Tampa Bay. Should be good. Should be fun. But until then, until the next episode, this your boy, Live Wire Sports Media, and I'm out.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live Wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.